Hi, I'm Sammy Murrian, film critic for FilmBook. X-Men Apocalypse is written by Simon Kinberg, directed by Bryan Singer, and it stars Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy. This is the 8th film in the X-Men franchise, if you can believe that. The 9th, if you count Deadpool. Okay, this movie has not been getting great reviews, and there are several people on the internet saying that this is like the worst X-Men film ever, or the worst thing ever, like people love to say. There's also a pocket of people who think that this movie is absolutely great. Neither one of those are true. This movie is fine. It is pretty middle of the road, and it's passable. It's complete bullshit to suggest that this is the worst film in the X-Men franchise when we've had X-Men 3, The Last Stand, directed by Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner's the worst. Also, X-Men Origins Wolverine, starring will.i.am. That classic. X-Men Apocalypse is a million times better than either one of those films. But this movie has a lot of problems. For starters, X-Men Apocalypse feels really rushed. Usually there's about 3 years or 4 years between these movies. They take a long time to make. X-Men Days of Future Past came out in 2014, and less than 2 years later, we have X-Men Apocalypse. This movie feels rushed. This screenplay is written by Simon Kinberg, who has written every single X-Men film since X2. He has also done some slapdash writing on movies like Fan Four Stick. And this feels like the first draft of a screenplay. This story does not flow particularly well, and it is overstuffed and bloated. There's too much going on. It's bloated. The best films in this series, the original X-Men, X2, which many people consider to be the high watermark of all superhero movies, and X-Men Days of Future Past, the last film, which was terrific, put story first. They put story and character first. At its best, the X-Men series is just amazing because these mutants are really interesting characters, really well-drawn characters that have, people have been writing these characters and writing about these characters for decades, and they're fascinating. And the genre and the world of X-Men is such a great place to hang real social issues on. Racism, homophobia, what have you. They're really interesting movies. They're really thought-provoking movies, and on top of that, usually have fabulous action scenes. What's really special about the films in this series that are the best, like X2 and X-Men Days of Future Past, those movies really felt like the writers wanted to do just a great story, a really character-driven narrative. X-Men Apocalypse feels like an overstuffed, not particularly well thought out story that exists mainly on which to hang fabulous action set pieces. That being said, the action sequences in this movie for the most part are awesome. They're really well done. Bryan Singer really knows how to stage an action set piece. But there's just too much. There is too much action. There is too much of everything in this movie. There is just too much of all of it. It is so bloated. There is definitely too much action to the point where so much stuff blows up and there's so much destruction and there's so much fighting that it gets monotonous and boring after a while. Look at the original X-Men movie, which still holds up really, really well. The original X-Men movie, which was 16 years ago. Can you believe that? Feel old? Feel old like I do? Yeah, X-Men came out 16 years ago. But that original X-Men movie is such a compact, streamlined, itty-bitty little story. The most action that happens in that whole movie is at the end. Wolverine and Sabretooth hit each other, and Rogue is tied up somewhere. That's it. That's as big as the action gets. That movie put story and character first. It was more effective than X-Men Apocalypse. The action is a little bit bigger in X-Men Apocalypse. For example, nuclear holocaust happens. Yeah, I'm not even shitting you, the geography of the world changes about halfway through this movie. There are tonal shifts aplenty throughout, and it does not flow and gel quite like the best films in this franchise have. At the risk of revealing very, very minor spoilers, in about a 5-minute period, we go from nuclear annihilation to a really fun, quirky scene with Quicksilver where he's rescuing people and it's all quirky and it's got funny music playing, which is a fun scene. It's also not as funny as the Quicksilver scene from Days of Future Past, and it feels kind of derivative. Then we instantly go from that fun, quirky moment into the death of a major character who I will not reveal, but it's a major character and it's played for maximum emotional impact. And we go, oh, and immediately after it happens, before anyone can mourn this character, it's, oh, back, we gotta have fun now, we gotta fight, we gotta use our powers. Big tonal problems in this movie. At its best, the X-Men series has focused on the differences between Magneto and Professor X, their ideological differences, which reflect ideological differences of society. And they have not been villain of the week movies, like, oh, we gotta stop this villain, like most blockbusters and definitely most superhero movies are. And that's what set apart the really good movies in this franchise, like X2 and X-Men Days of Future Past. You can't really say who the major villain is in those movies. It's more complicated than that. It's more interesting than that. Here, it's villain of the week, and the villain of the week sucks. You gotta try really hard to make Oscar Isaac lame. I mean, this is like the most appealing, versatile, talented, hunky actor on the planet right now. You gotta try really, really hard to make this guy lame. And this movie shoves a whole bunch of Muppet-looking makeup all over his face and doesn't give him much to do except talk about his power. That's it, and he's totally lame. He's all powerful until he's not. He has zero character. There is zero character. He's all force and zero character. And he's just lame. He's totally lame. Another villain is played by Olivia Munn, who has about 3 lines in the whole 2-hour and 20-minute movie. She has about 3 lines, zero chance to actually act. And whoever designed Olivia Munn's costume in this movie, there should be a special place in costume designer hell for that person, because wow. Oh, man. Olivia Munn looks like a hooker from space. Not kidding. She looks like a purple prostitute from Camelot. It's like purple ribbon fetish wear. It is hilarious and doesn't fit in with anything else in the movie. And I just felt bad for Olivia Munn because she looks like a stripper. By now it's gonna sound like I'm just all over this movie, and I'm really not. This movie definitely has problems. This said, it completely works as entertainment. If you just want to go to the movies and be entertained for 2+ hours, this movie more than fits the bill. Most of the action scenes are great, like I said. It looks amazing. This is state-of-the-art special effects. The special effects in this movie are, as expected, absolutely terrific. State-of-the-art special effects. The movie looks great. It sounds great. I got to see this at a screening on the Fox lot, and they have a state-of-the-art sound system, and I got to hear the sound design in this movie is fabulous. The movie is full of good performances, underwritten characters, but really good actors. All in this movie, really solid actors giving good performances, in particular James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. Their characters are vastly underwritten here, but their performances are fabulous. I mean, I thought that it would just be impossible for anyone to live up to the expectations, to fill the shoes of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, given that they're 2 of the best actors on the planet, they're terrific here. They're so good. They work so well together. They're funny. To the camp on the internet, the people that are going around saying that this movie's like the worst thing evs, or the worst X-Men movie ever, even, there's always going to be that pocket of people. People love to say that. They love to just say that something's the worst something ever. The people who are saying that about this movie, get a life. It is a right solid disappointment following X-Men Days of Future Past, but there are plenty of merits in this movie, and it's a perfectly entertaining time at the movies. I'm going to give X-Men Apocalypse a 6 out of 10, and if you're an X-Men fan, or if you're just a fan of seeing stuff blow up and well done action scenes, by all means, go see this movie, go see it in the theater. It's very big and it delivers on that just fine. Thank you for tuning in to FilmBook Review. Please comment below and let us know what you thought of X-Men Apocalypse. If you like what you see, please subscribe to FilmBook Review, and until next time, take care everybody. Bye!